Hi everyone! So today we're going to look at CC Express and kind of how to get around in it all. Now in this video I'm going to be using CC Express on my laptop. If you are using the mobile app, basically things are similar, they just might be in a slightly different place. Okay, it should have all the same capabilities, but where I click will be a little bit differently than where you tap if you're using your phone or your iPad. So just keep that in mind, okay? All right, so let's take a look around. Okay, so I'm signed in and we have a couple of different areas. Let's just take a look around. We have up here, this is kind of like the home area. To click back to go to the beginning, it'll just take us back here. We have search all templates. This is going to be important in a moment. Right over here we have things like a custom size button, so we can get started on a specific size if you just want to start from scratch. Okay, we can also come down here. There's templates. You can create your own templates. There's some, Instagram story sizes, posts, Facebook posts, posters. So things that are kind of sized already for what you're specifically creating from. There's these quick action stuff, remove background. This has to do more with images, so it was recommended. This is some of the tools that you can do with different images, video, PDFs. And then right over here, we also have even more buttons to play with. So we have the plus button. This is where you can where you could start a new project. So again, custom size graphic. It's basically the same as this. From your own templates, we already saw that there was a place for your templates down here, and some of the other different sizes. So you can see that a lot of the same things are in different places. Just kind of, it's really just to help people with whatever workflow they like to do. And we have these quick actions, which are the same as the quick actions we had down here. We also have a place where you can have your projects. So you can create folders here and you can have your own projects. So you can see that I have different ones for different classes, some random stuff that I've done. You can also add your own branding here. So here I have my own brand with my logo, and you can actually add multiple brands. So if you're working, doing social media for different brands, you can have your own branding for each one. Libraries is just kind of a collection of different assets that are either yours, that have been shared with you. So if you're working with a team, maybe they've shared a library with you. There's also public libraries. So, for these projects that you're working on, I encourage you to use your own photos, your own graphics, your own assets as much as possible. That's really the best way to get around any legal problems. But when we are using things like this, they do provide some stuff. And so if this is already here, that means that you should be okay to use it for your project. All right, and then there's also some learning guides here. So if you want to go into a little bit more in depth than what I'm doing in this video, you are more than welcome to come to the Learn area and watch some of these different tutorials as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So this first project, well, it's really your second project you'll be working on. It has to do with Facebook graphics. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on creating a Facebook cover image. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit the plus sign. And I'm going to look here, and it doesn't look like we have Facebook, we have post, but that's not what I want. So we can click view all. We can also come up here to search templates. Wow, look at all this different stuff they have: resumes, posters, wallpapers, presentation, album covers. Anyways, okay, so let's go up here. I'm going to put in Facebook cover. All right, and so we have event, which you'll have to be doing an event also, but it looks like they have some different ones down here too. So if you're going through here and you're seeing something that maybe does look good for your brand, then you can start off with something like this, but of course, remix it, make it your own, right? I think I'm actually going to start from scratch. So I'm going to click up here to go back to the home page, and I'm going to come over here to the plus sign and go to custom size graphic. So if I come here to social post, let's see what we have for Facebook. 1200 by 628, that looks about right. So I'm going to go ahead and select that and hit next. All right, so I have this empty canvas to work with, and you can see when you first log into this area. Now I usually use this on my phone, so obviously I've never logged into this area with my desktop, because you can see it's giving you some little pointers on how to get started. So you can add stuff to your design and you can edit your design. Okay, I got it. Cool. So first off, let's look over here. So we have templates. So again, if you decide, oh, maybe I should start with a template, that's fine. Now, the one thing about using templates is that, you know, how many thousands of people use this program? I don't know, but it's got to be a lot. So, you know, when you're first starting out, using templates is fine. If you're doing something really quick on the go, like your boss calls or emails you and is like, hey, I need a graphic like right now, like yesterday. You know, I've done that before. It's like, okay, let me open up a template and let's get to it. But with all the people that use this program and pretty much any design app that you may be able to download or use online, you know, things are going to start looking the same. So sometimes I see graphics and I'm like, oh, they totally made that in Canva, or they made that in CC Express, or they made that in whatever app, because I've seen that exact template before. So it's a good place to start, but eventually you need to get going with creating your own so that it's unique to you, right? Your business or whoever you're working with business, they have their own branding that should have their own unique style. Okay, so anyways, so we do have some templates. There's the text option right over here. So you can add with start with kind of like a template type of option, or you can add text. So if you wanted to add text to your cover photo, you just click on there, double click to edit. Easy. Okay, so then here you can see we have a text box, and I'm going to go Emily Redondo. Cool. And this is going to depend on your brand. Actually, I think I'm going to do Come Learn With Me. Okay, I like that. All right, and now from here we can kind of play with the size by playing with these handles, pulling them out. We'll make it larger or stretch it across, hopefully. Come on. Okay, we can play with different things like the font right over here. There's all kinds of different free fonts that we can play with. Here's the size that you can change up. Do you want to align left, center, or right? And you can see that it's aligning within the text box, not all the way around. If you wanted to move it all the way to the side, let's move this real quick. You can move it over here, but this aligning over here just does it within the text box. All right, so this is actually the opacity. Come on. There we go. So let's say you wanted to overlay it with some other graphics or colors. You can change how see-through it is, basically. That's what opacity means. Now there's some other effects here too. You can add a shape behind it. So let's say you wanted to do something like that or like this. You totally can. You can add a shadow and then change even the color of the shadow. So let's say I wanted to go with a red shadow. Pinkish thing. That's like a coral. Let's go with red. Okay, and if you're seeing when I am clicking on these colors, it's really just, you know, you can move this around for the overall color down here, and then you can move up here to affect, you know, how saturated the color is. If you want more of like a pastel type of look, do you want a tint of it? Yeah. Do you want a shade? We're going to come over here. So you could totally customize the colors. Okay, what else do we have? Let me move myself over for a second here. It looks like we have, you know, the angle of the shadow, how far off it is moving. So do you want it to be full off or really close to behind there? You can also add an outline to text. and you can change the color with that too. So if I want to see down here, right now you can see that I'm not able to see it. I can move down here. You can also collapse these little areas by hitting this little arrow. Okay, so now I could see that for the outline I can choose what color I want, and I can choose the thickness of it. All right, fun. Now let's see the shadow. So you can see that it also changes depending on if you turn something on and off. So it's something to know that, you know, if you turn off the shadow, then now the thickness needs to come back down. All right, but let me turn the shadow back on, and I'm going to change the shadow to, I'm going to go with something a little crazy. There we go. All right, cool. So that's your basic with the text. Now right now I just clicked off onto here and it automatically went to the edit background. So you can either choose a color that you want, or you can upload an entire image. You can pick one of the images that they have here. These are all free. You know, if you can click on it and use it, then you should be good to go. Usage wise, licensing I should say. Or you can also upload by clicking right here and uploading from there. All right, so let's get over here again. Let's look at icons. So you'll also notice that when I did the choose image, it brought up the photos area, and this is exactly what we're at here. Okay, so with icons, you can totally just, you know, search if you wanted to add something. So let's say I wanted to add a Facebook logo for some reason. Oh, it doesn't have one there. Guess what? It's probably copyrighted, so we're not going to use that. All right. Let's say I wanted to add a heart. And we have a whole bunch of different hearts that we can choose from here. Sweet. Oh, that's cute. There we go. Now once I, so if I don't have it selected, so right now there's nothing selected, I just clicked on the background, so we're in the edit background mode. Now if I want to change something specifically, I can click on this, and then you'll see that these options basically pop up. So we can replace it with something else. We can choose a different color. So let's say I want to go with, yeah, there we go. Crazy magenta, I love it. You can also change the blending mode. So this is best going to be seen if we pull it over here. Okay, so right now it's just right on top of the text, but the blending mode is affecting how it is interacting with what's underneath it. So if I change it to multiply, you'll see that the dark areas are now, I can now see the dark areas, and the lighter areas are being affected by the colors here. And let's see, screen is going to, you know, obviously it's changed it up too, but so now you can only see the light areas, but only where there is something happening. Okay, so I know it's a little bit, you know, confusing at first. Best bet when you're first getting used to this is just try all three. See which one is making the effect you want. And as you do that more and more, you'll start to learn like, oh wait, no, I want screen, or no, wait, I want multiply, or maybe you want normal and you want to take the opacity down a bit. Okay, those are all viable options. Now these flip the image, so it's not going to be really obvious with the heart. So let me grab something else. Well, this heart will do. Okay, so here's my heart, and if I flip it this way, flip horizontally. Oh, I had the wrong heart selected. If something's not happening and you want it to be happening, it might be because you have something wrong selected. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this heart and then flip. Okay, and you can see that it's just flipping. You can also flip it vertically. Fun. All right, what else do we have? So we have some design assets. So maybe this is stuff that's like between, it's not exactly a photo, it's not exactly an icon. We have some other stuff, things like effects. Oh, that's fun. So we have this really nice texture going on. We have, it looks like some graphic groups, combinations of graphics. We have some different brushes, illustrations, frames, elements, all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, totally just go through here and start exploring and seeing what there is available. And when you're doing this, be thinking of your brand. What is your brand about? So, I'm a teacher, but I don't teach kids. So this is not effective for my own branding. There is no point in having this. I'm going to select this and hit delete, and it's gone. Yay. Okay, but I do teach photography also. So maybe I need to have this in my design somewhere. I don't know. All right. So backgrounds, this just takes us back to, kind of the same thing. We can search for a background here. All kinds of different options. We have some stuff that's really, really graphics, geometric, organic. Ooh, I love spacey stuff. And so I clicked on this, and now it's going to ask me what do I want to do with it. If I click pin to background, it's basically going to be on the background, and I can't really move it around or change it. Or I can click move freely, and then it's just going to be, working like any of these other assets that I've been using. I personally like to move freely because sometimes I change my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. We'll see what happens. Okay, what else do we have? We have logos. So these are the logos that I've uploaded for myself. You can see that I have a couple different ones. And then here's libraries. Again, if you needed to come in here and work with an organization on something, you would have the library here for you to click on. All right, guys, so that is the basics of working in Creative Cloud. Now, once you are done, let's go back to this real quick. And I just started messing around with some stuff, but I realized I didn't want to make this lecture too long. So now that we're all done, what can we do? So right up here we have some different, well, this isn't done, but if I was done, we have some different buttons. So I have this little, it's like a little light bulb. This is where you can look at some more tutorials and such. Here you can actually add someone to look at your project and to edit your project. You can download and you can share. So let's click on download and see what our options are. So we have PNG, JPEG, and PDF. So PNG files are really great for if you don't want any compression and if there is any kind of transparency. I don't think there's a way to actually do transparency in CC Express, at least I haven't found it. That's something that I do more in Photoshop. But it doesn't compress the image. Now JPEG is really great because it's accepted almost anywhere. You can upload it to pretty much any site. It's going to work well. Now it does compress information out when you save any file as a JPEG. So the key is to, if you create a JPEG, you don't want to open that JPEG and edit it some more and then save it as a JPEG again. That's when you start getting what we call JPEG artifacts, where there's really funky things happening in an image. Or if you've ever seen an image where like there's supposed to be a nice gradient, but instead there's like these jaggedy pixelated looking lines instead, that's probably because it's been a JPEG that was resaved as a JPEG more than once, a couple of times probably. That's why, like, if you've ever seen memes online that are looking really bad, that's what happened. It was a JPEG, someone, downloaded it to like their phone, it saved it to their phone as a JPEG, then they uploaded it again, and that site compressed it again, and it happened over and over and over again, and now it's just this horrible pixelated looking mess. PDF, that could be used for some things, especially if you're sharing like over email, or if you need to combine multiple images for like a presentation. Maybe you're like, hey, this is my idea for a marketing campaign, and so then you create a bunch of PDF files of your different designs, and then you combine them all into one big PDF later. That's definitely something. All right, so we can hit JPEG and click Start Download, and it would download, and then you'd be able to turn it in. We also have Share, so you can publish, invite, so you can again invite people to work on it. You can make a template out of this, or you can send it to Google Drive. Pretty cool. All right, guys, so again, that is the basics of working in CC Express. I hope you have some fun, take some time to look around, get familiar, and yeah, I can't wait to see what you create.